What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm be doing in this cook is I'm going to be cooking a 12.5 pound prime brisket. I trimmed it down. We're probably at about 10 pounds, somewhere in that range. I just did a backyard barbecue trim on this. I really didn't get into it. My boy James at Aim 'em and Claim 'em Smokers, he definitely gets down when he trims his brisket. So if you want a good video to watch on how to trim a brisket, I'm gonna leave a link to that video in the iCard above and description below. What I really want to talk about in this video is, it seems like the best briskets I cook I never film, and I did one about 3 weeks ago and made a couple changes on it. As far as the seasoning goes, I went a lot lighter on the seasoning than I had before, and I think I ended up with some excellent color on that. So I want to kind of try to duplicate that. Plus, one of the changes we're going to be making in this video is I'm going to be injecting it with some Modelo Negro beer. My man Leland at Howlin' Smoke Barbecue had told me that he had done a dark beer. I think he used Guinness beer in one of his videos, and I figured, you know what, instead of stealing his idea outright, let me just go with another dark beer and see how that goes in this. As far as the cooker we're going to be cooking on, I'm going to be cooking on my 26-inch Weber Kettle Grill. This is going to be my third cook on it, my second long cook. First cook I did on it was 2 pork butts that went about, man, it was a long cook. It was damn near 15 hours or something like that. So I'm probably only going to need a good 12 hours out of this, but that's what we're going to be using. Anyway, as far as seasoning goes, like I said, we're going to be going light on it. I just have a salt, garlic, pepper blend here. So really what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and season this thing up and get it in the refrigerator. It's going to go back out on the smoker. It's going to go out on the smoker sometime around 8 o'clock tonight. Anyway, let's get seasoning this bad boy up. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this injected. I'm going to pour this beer into just another container. I'm just using a cheap syringe that you would get like if you were to buy like some Tony Chachere's turkey injection. As far as what I'm going to spritz the brisket down with, I'm going to be asleep for most of this cook, but the few hours that I am awake, I will probably be spritzing it down with a mixture of olive juice, pickle juice, and a little bit of vinegar. And I'm just gonna hit this, every few inches. Alright guys, this is about enough injection. That's about 3/4 of a bottle. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of seasoning on it now, just so some can start kind of penetrating in. Then I'm going to throw it in the refrigerator, and then we're going to hit it again with a little bit more seasoning before it goes on the smoker. So like I said, salt, pepper, garlic, we're going to go fairly light on this, especially this first run, but just light in general. Alright, that's the done deal. I'm going to go ahead, throw it in the refrigerator, and it's going to sit in there for about 3.5 to 4 hours. So we are about to get this 26-inch Weber Kettle Grill humming. I'm going to be using a little bit more charcoal than the owner's manual for this Slow and Sear recommends. And the reason for that is I'm in Colorado, so we're at a higher elevation, so you need a little bit more coals to get this rolling. Anyway, my basket's filled with a little bit more charcoal than we're going to need for this, because I'm also going to be running my Weber Smoky Mountain tonight as well. Anyway, let's roll. Alright, so that is that. I'm going to go ahead and throw in this dripping griddle. And that's going to keep any of that juice from leaking down onto the onto the grill. And I'm going to throw the grate on, and we're going to clean the grate off, and this should be ready to go get our food on here in about 30 minutes. This is about 7:30 at night. So we're about to go ahead and get this meat on. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour some hot water in this water reservoir. And listen, if you do not have a slow and sear and you're thinking about it, I'm telling you, the only reason I bought this 26-inch kettle was because I fell in love with this slow and sear on my 22-inch. Links in the description below. Anyway, we got that hooked up. Let's go ahead and get our meat on. Now we are going to be cooking this fat side up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it on here fat side down for now. Then we're going to hit it with a little bit of seasoning. And I am cross-contaminating, but I'm going to throw away whatever seasoning we have in here, so it's not going to be that big of an issue. And like I said, I'm going to go light on this. And that's about how I'm going right there. So you can still kind of see through it. You can still see the grains of the meat. It's not just packed on here. Let's go ahead and flip it over. Let's move it over a little bit. Get this other side. Alright, that is a wrap. Now what I'm going to do is we're just going to go ahead, let me take these gloves off. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the lid on. I have my vent over the meat so the smoke kind of comes through there. I have my vents shut down quite a bit right now just because it's running a little bit hot, but it will calm down. Next time you see me, unless we come out here in the middle of the night, is going to be tomorrow morning or whenever it hits about 200 degrees. We'll check on it. So I just wanted to stop and give a quick update. We are 10 hours in on this brisket. I'm at 175 degrees, so I think we're just going to go ahead and let this roll without wrapping it or doing anything else to it. I am going to go ahead and add a little bit more charcoal over here to my slow and sear, but it looks like we're going to be right on time, so I'm just going to go ahead and let this ride. And you know what, let me just spray this down one more time, and then we'll check on this again maybe when we get around 200 degrees and go from there. This brisket just hit 201 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up in some foil, wrap it up in a towel, and throw it in a cooler. And it's going to have a chance to sit for about 4 hours before we slice into it. So it's time to get in and slice into this brisket. Now, like I said, this is my first brisket on the 26-inch. My grains are going to be, I'm going to be cutting this direction here. So let's just get on in and see what's up. Alright, it's time for Andrew to just go ahead and get in on this taste test right here. You guys don't have to be quiet, just keep the party going, y'all. Go ahead and grab one of those and taste it and see what's up.
Oh, look at that. But, see? Perfectly tender, but still, but then, that's all I gotta say. It's really good stuff.
So I did go a little bit lighter on that seasoning than I normally do, which I think I kind of like. And then, you know what, as far as temperature goes, this had a chance to rest for 6 hours. I think I'd have been better off at about 2 hours, but it's just a slight difference on that. Still turned out great. Anyway, thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.